Hey there, welcome back to another video, and today we'll talk about the 6th house of Navamsha. How the 6th house of Navamsha represents our blocks in life. What are the obstacles which we may deal with? Now, I was preparing this video since 1 month. I'm working on this topic because I seriously wanted to discuss the 6th and the 12th house axis of Navamsha. There is also one course coming very soon which is entirely based on the 6th and 12th house axis. Very interesting, but I really want to do this because we must understand how we are blocking our own path, how certain thoughts, mind process, our own actions may block our path in some way. So while preparing this topic, it took me 1 month to do this. So I was dealing with constant obstacles. I used to work on it and then I used to move on something else and then I used to get back. So I'm doing this since the month of July, and finally I reached to this conclusion, this closure. Okay, let's finish this up. Okay, so 6th house of Navamsha, it represents what's blocking your union. We are not focusing on the planetary placements in the 6th house. We are not focusing on the lordship of the 6th house ruler, where it is placed. But today our entire focus is on which sign rules the 6th house and how it defines the block in your life. What blocks your journey? What blocks you? What blocks your union? Union means the union with your partner. What kind of obstacles you're dealing in your marriage, and also what is blocking your union with your own self? What is blocking you in meeting your own self, understanding your own self, your growth, your progress? So that's why 6th house of Navamsha is important if you want to understand what kind of hurdles and obstacles you may witness and how you can resolve them as well. So today we'll have a general idea what this your 6th house represents, what kind of obstacles you may deal with, and there will be few tips where you can understand how you can resolve these issues. But the remedy part, well, it will happen in the next video, in a different video. Okay, so no planets in the 6th house. I'm not talking about that, not even the lordship of 6th house. We have just see which sign rules your 6th house. Now, life never gives us a straight path, a very clear path. Okay, there's always some kind of traffic jam on the road, and you may see any kind of obstacle over there. That traffic jam is itself an obstacle for you. Sometimes we have to take risky turns. We cannot walk in the straight path. We have to move left, right. We have to navigate a lot. Then there are times when we reach to an impasse, absolute deadlock, like that road is ending and you cannot go beyond that. So again, you have to take a U-turn, you have to go in a different direction. So it's all about understanding your blocks. When you know your blocks, when you know your obstacles, you can work better towards them. The 6th house of Rashi is more about the physical blocks you deal with, everything happening on a material and a physical realm. Okay, that's your physical reality. That is your 6th house. It represents diseases as well, the 6th house of the Rashi chart. So diseases are itself a block. Competition is also a kind of a block, but it is also helping you to grow. So that is the 6th house of Rashi chart. Then the 6th house of Navamsha is about the blocks you deal on your soul level, on your emotional level. And remember, 6th house never functions alone, whether it's your Rashi chart or Navamsha. 6th house is something, in fact, any house never functions all alone. There is some kind of functioning happening in that axis. They work together. So if you want to understand 7th house, look at the 1st house as well. If you want to look at the 6th house, you want to understand it, you must know how the 12th house is also functioning. So what is 6th house? It represents your obstacles, right? 12th house is what's happening because of those obstacles. Now you're developing guilt, any kind of regret, emotional struggles. What is happening in your subconscious mind? Those constant obstacles are keeping you a certain mindset. It's giving a signal to your mind that this is life is all about. This is how you have to make your path. You have to make your way. You have to resolve it, right? And then what is happening in the 12th house? Your subconscious, now it knows a certain pattern. There are regrets over there. There are also some lessons, ideas, wisdom. So they will give you a signal how to work towards the 6th house obstacles. So even if you resolve one house, if you work on one house, the other house will resolve it itself. So they function together. 6th house, obstacles, challenges. 12th house, subconscious. It's your mindset towards something. Like, it's your memory. It's your memory, and that memory helps to resolve that issue. Or if that memory is more of some kind of fear, it is about fear, then it will further drown you in that obstacle. So 6th and 12th house, they need to be checked together. We'll talk about this in this analysis as well. And there's a tip: if you want to truly understand the origin of your problems, how you can resolve them, check out the placement of the 6th Lord of Navamsha in the D30 division. Okay, what planet rules the 6th house of Navamsha, where it is placed in the Trishamsha, and also the sign which is ruling the 6th house. In Trishamsha, which house is ruled by that sign? That's a great tip, and you can understand a lot of things about your life. If the 6th house is all about the blocks, the root cause of suffering, then the 12th house is about processing that issue, accepting it, or rather you're making it as a fear, as a difficulty for yourself. So the 6th 12th axis is very important with respect to the problem solving, understanding your issues and resolving them. So in general, the 6th house of Navamsha will represent your blocks, the blocks which you may deal with in strengthening yourself, finding your true self. It represents the blocks which you may deal in your marriage partnership, what kind of a debt you have with your partner. The 6th house of Navamsha will show your strength and weakness. It talks about the obstacles, conflicts, challenges happening in your marriage. And finally, 6th house of Navamsha will help you to understand how you are blocking your own path, how you are standing in your own path. What kind of trait of yours will act as an obstacle in your personal growth and relationships. Before we talk about all the signs and everything, there's one more thing which you need to focus, you need to understand, and it's very interesting. The 6th house is 6 places away from the 1st house, okay? And the 1st house is 8 places away from the 6th house. So 6-8 pattern. If the 6th house is the obstacle which you are dealing with, that obstacle takes you to a rebirth. It transforms you. A major transformation happens. It challenges your 1st house, your ascendant of Navamsha, to change. From time to time, we undergo a rebirth. So whatever challenges you helps you to transform, grow, and change something about yourself. So we are going to discuss that as well. Now, you know that the zodiac signs, they are classified into 3 categories. There is fixed signs, mutable, and movable signs. So what happens if the 6th house is ruled by a movable sign, that is Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn? This indicates that you are someone who is very ambitious. Even with a little effort, you can achieve great things. Even with a little effort, you can get rid of your obstacles. You believe in making things happen. You might be a very restless individual and you have a lot of expectations from life. But the good thing is you know how to move beyond your obstacles very easily. You can do that. What happens when your 6th house is ruled by a fixed sign, that is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, this shows it's not easy for you to accept and change in life. That can be the biggest obstacle for you to prepare yourself for a challenge. You also look out for strong long-term connections in life. It's difficult to get rid of a certain relationship, to get rid of a certain work or a passion you were working on. So making changes, adjustments are difficult for you. If the sixth house is ruled by a mutable sign, that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, you can change things. It may take a lot of effort, but you can change things. You can get rid of your obstacles. You're ready to accept things. Like there is a balance over here. You know where you can make the changes and where you have to accept certain things and move on. So if the sixth house is under the influence of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, you have to focus a lot on learning things from the people around you. You have to work a lot on your concentration power. If you have Aries rising in the Lagna of Navamsha, then Virgo rules the sixth house. The biggest challenge with respect to your personal growth and relationships will be the insecurities regarding your self-worth. You may always feel something is missing in your life. And when you constantly feel that something is missing, the ability to give and take in relationships gets blocked. Or there is some kind of trouble with the justice, with the equality you get in your relationships, which makes you feel very dissatisfied. And because of that, you criticize your own self. So the ability to enjoy life, find happiness in little things is lost. There's always an urge to look forward and find something new which can make you happy rather than working on that present thing. So the first thing for you is to make yourself and your bonds stronger. This is something which is so important. To become a believer that good things do happen. Understanding the value of everything is important in your life, whatsoever is going on. It has a great meaning. There is a reason why the 12th house is ruled by Pisces for you. Understand that everything might not need a closure. Sometimes you may not get the right answer which you always wanted. Believe in magic, believe in divine intervention. Sometimes believing in the impossible also helps. So you are a very practical kind of a person. Like if you want something, you will look out for a practical solution and then you keep on working on that. But sometimes we do reach to a certain block. And when we reach to that block, the only thing which can really help you to get rid of that block is to have a certain faith. And that's what the 7th house away from the 6th house, that is your 12th house ruled by Pisces, says. Sometimes you must have a firm belief that things are happening in the right way. Even if you're dealing with a block, something is happening in your favor. It will take you to the right place, even if it's not working in your way. You may find that people who have a major influence of the Pisces sign in their chart, they have some strong placements in Pisces. It could be a friend, a partner, or a relative. These people will either inspire you or they will challenge you to bring certain important changes in your life. They will help you to learn your lessons better. Because, this person who carries this Pisces vibe, this person will help you to be easy on yourself, will help you to find joy, love, and magic in life. And moreover, with the 6th and 12th house axis, you have a lesson which is all about self-acceptance. You need to learn that, not to be too harsh on yourself. Sometimes you have to accept your bad things as well, your failures as well, and then be ready to move on. With Aries rising in the Navamsha and Virgo ruling the 6th house, you are indeed a tough cookie. You are a freedom loving individual with respect to the love, relationships, and partnerships. You are someone who will be more of a giver in this journey. You are independent. You're very independent. Therefore, it's not you who may get dependent on other people. Sometimes you may even feel a bit reluctant to depend upon other people for your needs. For you, the best part about a union, about a relationship, a partnership, is having someone who can give you enough freedom in life, and also having someone who can lean on you for support. You will absolutely love how someone is there for you. This person seeks some kind of guidance or support from you. What you may need in return in the partnership is freedom, joy, someone who can add more hope and spark in your life. The biggest block in the union with respect to marriage partnership is the inability to feel happiness in the small moments of life and getting anxious over small hurdles. Taking everything so seriously may bring more heat and friction in the partnership, arguments over small issues, and like who is working more, who is more serious in this relationship. Further, with Virgo ruling over the 6th house of Navamsha, it shows that whomsoever comes into your life as a partner, this person may try to change you, how you function, how you work. And the same thing is happening for you, impacting each other's daily life, daily actions, attitude towards life, how you both deal with a certain issue. So both will try to challenge each other to fix a certain thing, to change something about your actions, your emotions, your perception. So this is also something which is very important. On a soul level, the 6th house of Navamsha indicates you have the power to change things in life. Yes, some serious hard work is required, but you can achieve what you seek. Sometimes you may lack focus because you are too busy in criticizing your own self or finding someone's fault. You may lose focus in order to make things perfect. What's that word? Yes, procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. If you want to meet your true self, understand that everything may not be happening in your way, but still your efforts have the power to make important changes, to navigate your life, to change directions, and still you can find new avenues. So it's important to be in flow with the direction of life, and then you will have the power to make small changes and to get to your destination. Wherever you want to reach, there can be multiple pathways through which you can go to that place. That's the major lesson. If you have Taurus rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then Libra rules the 6th house. For you, the Lagna and the 6th house of D9 both are ruled by Venus. So, your partnership, family bonds, important relationships, and the public connections will sometimes uplift your soul, and sometimes they may act as a major obstacle in your personal growth. For outside world, you may appear to be very strong, grounded, and balanced person. But just opposite to your 6th house, the 12th house is being ruled by Aries. There's a lot going on in your mind. Your mind is constantly processing restlessness, anxiety, anger, and frustration with respect to the people and important partnerships. Whatever they give to you, that energy they give to you, it just retains in your mind. It impacts you in a great way. And when it impacts you in a great way, your ability to give and take, to manage your relationships further gets challenged. Sometimes you may feel that you are giving more than what the other person is doing for you. And this kind of injustice may impact even the different aspects of life. Your ability to deal with different challenges may impacted by this inequality. On a soul level, there's indecisiveness, which acts as a biggest challenge. Like, you may doubt whether you did the right thing or not. Did you make the right decision or not? There's always some kind of calculation going on. Always, weighing your decisions, weighing the different situations, which in return keeps your mind triggered. Libra ruling the 6th house. Well, what does Libra represents? It represents those balance scales. So here, these scales are out of balance because they rule the 6th house of challenges. Always over analyzing every situation, every person in your life. There is a great need of equality and justice in relationships. Because of that, you keep on thinking, did I give more to that person? What did I receive from that person? Am I doing less in my relationship? So biggest block for your soul's journey is your daily habits and how happy you are with your own self, how balanced you feel with your own self. Because Venus is the karaka of balance, creating balance in every aspect. So whether it's eating, taking care of yourself, your relationships, your mental health, your physical health, whatever aspect is, Libra here indicates you must find the right balance in your life. As this is the Navamsha 6th house, here Libra means that you need not to be too much calculative about your relationships. That is the thing, because if you're too calculative about it, too focused on what you are getting and what you're not getting, what you are doing, this will challenge you in every aspect. So first, you need to find balance from within. Are you happy with yourself? Is your body, your mind is in harmony or not? If that thing is in harmony, everything will fall into the right place. With this placement, the 6th house ruled by Libra, you have to avoid any kind of overindulgence in life. It will impact you emotionally and physically as well. The biggest block in your partnership, your relationships, is comparing and over analyzing everything. Yes, definitely you have the power to see things from a very different angle. You know how equality can be attained, but sometimes we have to let other people be just themselves. Like when you know there is something wrong with the other person's choice or attitude, you will immediately run to fix and balance that thing. But this other person may think you are way too critical. You always have something against their values or beliefs. So debate in partnerships is going to happen because look over here. Libra ruling the 6th house. It is 6 places away from the 1st house. Taurus is ruling the 1st house. And then the 1st house is 8 places away from 6th house. So the Taurus Libra 6-8 pattern over here shows debate in partnerships. You're trying to balance out something, but the other person thinks you are disregarding their values or beliefs in some way. And with every imbalance you deal with in life, you will learn to be more firm and strong. You will be more connected to your true value. You will understand your true worth. Now the 12th house is ruled by Aries. So any kind of a bond, a partner, a friend, anyone who was very important in your life, if this person have strong Aries energy, they have strong placements in the sign of Aries, these people will help you to be more present in the current situation rather than over analyzing everything all the time. You need not to measure and calculate everything, especially your relationships. Do not be too calculative about it. You can cherish your freedom. You can look out for freedom. You are giving away your freedom when it comes to your relationships because you are too much into it. always calculating who is doing what. With Libra ruling the 6th house, you have the power to achieve great things in life. You will successfully move beyond your obstacles. If you decide you want to make this change, you will definitely succeed in that because you know how to make that move. Equality and justice in relationships is something which may bother you. You may always end up feeling that you are giving more and receiving less, or it could be you did not got the right respect, and this could be a source of dissatisfaction in life. So you may start comparing yourself with others very oftenly. So you have to get rid of this as well. You have to value your own worth. That's why you have Taurus rising in the ascendant. You have to take your ground. You have to be more fixed towards who you are and what you believe in. If you have Gemini rising in the ascendant of your Navamsha, then Scorpio rules the 6th house. No matter how much open you are to change and new things in life, but when it comes to your personal growth and relationships, processing your own emotions can be difficult. You may feel stagnant sometimes, and also one of your biggest block is understanding your true self. Further, there is zero tolerance when it comes to important relationships or partnership. The ability to get over the setbacks in life is being impacted. No, you're not weak. With every challenge, you beautifully metamorphosize. You just rise up every time you fall. But deep within, emotionally, you tend to keep on falling into the deepest pit. So over here, I'm talking about emotional setbacks and how they may block you to grow on an emotional and soul level. And it is also impacting your ability to be happy, to be an open person to experience love. With every setback, the ability to tolerate other person's behavior just goes down for you. So in relationships, you may get deeply sensitive to your partner's actions. If this person has no intention to hurt you, but still you may take things to your heart. That is all because of the 6-8 pattern of Mercury and Mars in your chart. The house which is ruled by Scorpio, it's 6 places away from Gemini, which is the lord of the first house. And Gemini is 8 places away from Scorpio. So this leads to overthinking in relationships, overthinking about your purpose, how you can fit into this world, how you can survive in this world. And when you overthink, it leads to mood changes. It leads to inability to get rid of insecurities. So if you deal with sudden setbacks or ups and downs, if you see that things are too much going out of control, then as Gemini rules 8 places away from Scorpio, it's all happening so that you can learn something. You're learning to grow, you're learning to strengthen your mind, you're learning to be open about your needs and who you truly are. It's just making your mind more stronger. It is making you more open to the world. Rather than going into a shell, you have to open up. I'm not saying that you should be tolerant to nonsense and injustice given by others. But if you want to be strong, if you seek healthy relationships, you have to open your heart. Be open to listen to the opinion of others without taking everything to your heart. Don't take everything personally. There is a resistance to make adjustments with other people or to change your habits, your patterns. Just opposite to 6th house, the 12th house is ruled by Taurus. So deep on a subconscious level, your mind is looking out for stability, long lasting relationships, seeking such people who can be a family forever. You hesitate to be firm with others. You have to be very strong while dealing with the challenges. You have to develop that strength to say your truth. You cannot be silent forever and thinking that the world will understand you somehow. And wherever Ketu goes in Navamsha, that house, that aspect of your partnership can keep you detached or bothered um, in life. And wherever the Mars is placed, that aspect of your partnership will keep you excited, it will keep you busy, it will keep you engaged. You may find a partner who may have some important um, placements in Taurus, or the people who have strong placements in Taurus. These people can help you to change a lot. This person will help you to learn a lot about strength, how to be dedicated towards your own growth, and also how to be dedicated towards the family. And so also you have to work a lot on finances. There will be financial worries. So the people who may have strong placements in Taurus, these people around you will change your life. They will help you to improve. They can motivate you, they can challenge you, but the ultimate result is you are growing. You may also have no hesitation to say your truth. You will say it on the face of people, and this might be a very brutal aspect of your personality, which limits the other person's ability to create a long lasting connection with you. But the best part is that in this life you will have victory over your fears. You will definitely do that. If you have Cancer rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then the 6th house is ruled by Sagittarius. Now, your ascendant of D9 is ruled by Moon, but the 6th house of obstacles is ruled by Jupiter. We know that Moon, Jupiter are great friends to each other, but here they are ruling such houses which are in a 6-8 pattern. Sagittarius ruled 6th house is 6 places away from the 1st house, and the Cancer ruled house is 8 places away from the 6th house. So the sensitive Moon and the adventurous and the optimistic side of Jupiter are aligned in this way, which may make you deeply sensitive, emotional, and vulnerable. You may find it hard to open up in relationships, and also it's difficult to take risk in all aspects of life. It's also difficult to get over relationships, to go beyond other person's control over you. The biggest block with respect to your personal growth and relationships in this journey is the inability to go beyond your security zone. Because Sagittarius rules the 6th house from Cancer, the 1st house ruler. So, with every blow, every obstacle, you may have a lesson to open up to the world. Every emotional challenge which you may deal with, which you may think it will just push you further, inside, it may make you more introverted. That challenge is actually wanting you to take risk, to look towards the world, to look at the adventurous side of life, to explore this world in a great way. So rather than getting withdrawn from the world and find a secure zone for yourself, which is very evident with Cancer ruling the 1st house of Navamsha, you have to be a risk taker. You have to further open up and move forward. Here the waning cycles of Moon is leading to mood swings, and when you deal with the mood swings, it clashes with the expansion of Jupiter, the risk-taking ability which will bring expansion. So the more you are into unhappiness, you're very moody, you're trying to just get into your shell because this world is difficult, it will straight away block the expansion, the gift of expansion given by Jupiter. It will take away your ability to take risk, to be on an adventurous quest in this journey. There's a need to have everything secure, in control, and this will impact your personal growth and relationships as well. Just opposite to 6th house, Gemini is ruling the 12th house, which indicates There's not just the need to open and communicate with the world, but also you have to open up to learn and listen to others. This would bring new opportunities, abundance, great friendships, and social connections. Like listening and connecting freely with the loved ones, with the partner, without any prejudice, will help you a lot. The people around you who especially have some kind of a major placement in Gemini, these people will help you to open up to the world. They may challenge you, they may motivate you, they will teach you to adapt to every situation rather than going into a shell, rather than going into a secure zone again and again. Also, with Gemini ruling the 12th house of Navamsha and Sagittarius ruling the 6th house, it's important to accept the truth. Face your issues rather than, diverting your mind onto something other. You have to cope up with certain things. Like if something bothers you, you may jump to another thing rather than coping and accepting it. On a soul level, this placement shows you're facing a block with respect to your spiritual path as well. Like reaching to the peak of this spiritual quotient, the peak of maturity, accepting your lessons and getting more wise is something so important for you. You have to work a lot on your spiritual journey. And Gemini ruling the 12th house, this indicates never be too dead serious about life. You have to be playful towards everything. You have to be playful. You have to communicate and interact. And this playfulness, this ability to communicate with the world will help you to go beyond every serious situation. For some people, reaching to long-lasting commitment can be difficult with Sagittarius ruling the 6th house. So, a lot of patience is required. Do not make quick decisions. The moment you feel a challenge, do not just run away from that relationship or the bond. You have to give time to your connections. And there will be a lot of short-term connections happening in your life. And the major thing with this placement is you will learn a lot from your mistakes. You have the power to make changes in life. With some efforts, you can get rid of your obstacles. The only thing over here is do not lose your focus. Even a small effort can take you to great places. If Leo rules the first house of Navamsha, then Capricorn rules the 6th house. So Sun ruling the first house, Saturn ruling the 6th and 7th house of D9. The biggest block and the greatest blessing in this life is understanding yourself, understanding your worth. But you will beautifully understand your worth. But the thing is, the challenge is that you will know about this through the society, the connection with the people, the world around you. There will be a constant battle between your soul and the world. This gives a deep-rooted unhappiness. Though you may constantly smile and shine like a sun for the world, you'll always be a source of light for others. But for yourself, you are a sun who is maybe surrounded by gray clouds, or I would say, though the sun shines for the world, but deep within it's burning and burning with such huge temperature. It's burning from deep within. And you can see the 6-8 connection of Sun and Saturn. The first house is ruled by Sun, 6 places away. It's ruled by Saturn. And of course, 8 places away from the 6th house, that house is ruled by Sun. So this 6-8 pattern gives a tendency to always imagine the worst outcome in life. Or you will always look into the worst side of things. So this becomes your block with respect to personal growth and partnerships, finding love, or simply it's a union with your own path, your own sense of happiness. It gets difficult. All of your ambitions may create friction in marriage, or may leave people envy and unsupportive towards you. That's why you will always have a great need to be appreciated, accepted, and loved greatly in this life. You really want that kind of fulfillment. Now, Capricorn rules the 6th house and Cancer rules the 12th house. The domestic family bonds will play a major role in your life. You may worry too much about family, about the people with whom you have emotional bonding, and there will be always a fear, what if I lose the emotional intimacy with my partner or with this relevant person. You really seek everlasting happiness, security, and comfort in this journey. You don't want things to go away from you, certain bonds to go away from you. And as Capricorn rules the 6th house, a lot of weight is there to make things happen, to reap the good impact of certain achievements or certain relationships. You will take a lot of time to establish a partnership, but once it happens, it will be long lasting, or simply you will work towards long lasting connections. You will work patiently towards them. With Capricorn ruling the 6th house of D9 and just opposite to it, Cancer ruling the 12th house, the domestic life, the family bonds will become a major concern. You may worry too much about the people with whom you have a great emotional bonding. There will be like always a fear of losing people with whom you connect beautifully on an emotional level. And you may constantly go back to those people for that emotional security and that protection as well. And subconsciously, yes, you want everlasting happiness, security, and fulfillment in your relationships. But opposite to it, Capricorn ruling the 6th house, a lot of weight is there to make good things happen, to make long lasting connections, to make long lasting partnerships, to have this amazing achievement. So there is a weight, and you have to prepare yourself emotionally for every strong decision you have to make in this life. If you prepare yourself emotionally, you will never ever fail in life. Whether it's your partner, friend, or any important person, whomsoever, if this person has strong Cancer traits or may have strong placements in the sign of Cancer, this person can bring a great relief in your life, happiness, and a sense of comfort. This person will either through inspiring you or challenging you, this person will help you to realize that life goes on in cycles. There is nothing permanent over here, nor the happiness or the sadness. So, the people who have moon-like traits or they have important placements in Cancer, they can help you a lot to get rid of your inner insecurities which you have regarding your identity or about your general life pattern. Sun ruling the 1st house, Saturn ruling the 6th house, you have the greatest potential to attain the best things in life. It's just that even a smallest thing may appear to be the greatest struggle, but you will be very successful. Those tough lessons are building a lot of courage and strength in you. You may end up looking at yourself through the eyes of other people, which can hurt you a lot. Your ambitions may also become a hurdle in your relationship, or maybe your partner's ambition may become an obstacle in the relationship. So that's why it's important that when you look out for a partner, this person should be equally ambitious like you, or maybe there's a work connection between you two. This will also resolve the issues. There will be a lot of expectation from self. Leo ruling a house 8 places away from Capricorn. So time to just let go those expectations. You don't have to calculate everything all the time. And you have to undergo growth. You have to go through rebirth like situations. The moment you deal with a tough challenge coming through the 6th house, through the society, through someone who is senior to you, you will undergo a phase of growth and transformation, which will further help you to understand your soul and your purpose. With respect to relationships, patience is the biggest lesson to learn. Give space and time to other people. Observe everything and do not get into any kind of prejudice or any conclusion very easily. There is uncertainty in relationships, I do see, with Aquarius ruling over the 7th house, but patience is everything over here. With Cancer ruling the 12th house, you need to learn something about happiness, how to approach different aspects of life with happiness. Do not be in fear of anything. The moment you're fearful about something, you may not find success in that. That will just block you completely. If you have Virgo rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then the sign of Aquarius rules the 6th house of the very same chart. Your Navamsha Lagna makes you a very dedicated and strong person who's always ready to do more to reach to your goals. But the major block in your journey can be the unpredictability of life. How you feel that tomorrow something unpredictable can block me. There's a fear of the uncertain pattern of life. You may have a sense of loneliness, or simply you are being misunderstood by the world, and this thing is something which blocks your overall journey and your growth. Virgo ruling the 1st house and Aquarius ruling the 6th house. Just understand this 6-8 pattern between these two signs. On one side, you work beyond limits to help and serve the other people around. But how people react to you, how unpredictable things can get, this may directly block you from recognizing your own work, and then you act hard on yourself. So this means you're doing your best. You're pushing your limits to do something good. Not just for your own, but you do have a desire to do good for others as well. And when you don't get that right response, that right I would say recognition for what you are doing, then you start hating yourself sometimes, or you start feeling that I am in the wrong place, I'm not in the right place or right situation, or I'm not with the right people. And because of this, sometimes out of fear, you may immediately move away from people. You may think that, okay, I might get treated like this everywhere. Everyone will treat me in a similar way. So you tend to cut away from people very quickly without giving them enough time. So this is something which may impact your partnership, your relationships. So you have to give time to people. You have to sit and observe, see what they are doing for you. Give time to important relationships. Also, I would say your uniqueness and out of the box thinking might become a block in connecting with the world, because you may not find many people who may agree with you. The Lagna Lord wants you to contain everything which is out of order. You want to bring everything into some kind of a form, some kind of order. There is this deep desire to have everything under control, whether it's situations, work, people, or relationships. But the 6th Lord being ruled by Aquarius, there is confusion and chaos in every aspect of life. With respect to relationships, you have to really value who is there for you. Even if there's just 2 people who actually support you, so let those 2 people be close to you, but otherwise you have to be very selective. By this I mean that you need to be very concerned, very focused who stays around you. Focus on quality rather than quantity. Whether it's your relatives, friends, or a loving partner, people may find it challenging to keep up with your growth, ideas, and visions. So at one point of time, you may outgrow people. Therefore, these people may either isolate you, or they may make you feel small, or simply they may get jealous of you. And just opposite to the 6th house, the 12th house is ruled by Leo, which shows rather than looking for validation in the eyes of other people and constantly pushing yourself to explain yourself to other people why this thing is important, why my view is important. Don't do that. Respect your own self. Listen to your own soul. You have forgotten to value your own self. And this will make you happy always, whether it's the people around you or your partner, any person who have some kind of a major placement in Leo. This person can be very impactful towards you through inspiring you or challenging you. A person who have a strong placement in Leo will bring a lesson, and this lesson will help you to find yourself. You will find your joy, your strength, and after that you will never feel alone. So if you start trusting your soul, because Leo rules the 12th house, if you are in your own comfort zone, if you're happy with your own self, this is the best way you can win. You can never be a block to yourself if you start understanding what your soul seeks. Time to time, disconnection with the world, with the people may happen so that you can connect with your own self. And you will be looking for long-term connections. You will meet people who are a bit egoistic in nature. It may happen. And you may easily repel from such people. And you have a very fixed vision. It's difficult to change according to the world. You can bring big changes, but it's difficult to change according to the patterns of the world and the people. And you will beautifully succeed in life. The biggest struggle in relationships, and even with respect to your all aspects of life, is the inability to change. Like there is some kind of hesitation to change. You are very fixed with what you want and what you want to see for yourself in life. If you have Libra rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then Pisces rules your 6th house. The biggest block which you may face with respect to your personal growth and relationships is the fear of losing your freedom in this journey. Also, there are a lot of dreams in your mind, and sometimes your own expectations, your own desire to fulfill those dreams may block you from enjoying life, understanding the reality of life. And when things don't go according to your way, you may try to escape everything. With 6th house under the influence of Pisces and 12th house under the influence of Virgo, your own dreams and expectations needs a practical plan, or it's just that you know the reality but you don't want to accept it. So there are few things where you have to be very careful. You have to tell yourself again and again, see, this is what can be done. This is the practical way of doing something or expecting something in life. As you have Libra rising in the ascendant of D9, which means in this journey your soul has to constantly be at the forefront. Instead of escaping, you should confront your challenges where you know the truth of this world. You know the reality. It's not that you don't know anything. It's just that it makes you sad. And with Libra rising in the ascendant of D9, you have to come forward to make things balanced. You have to work a lot towards equality and justice with respect to relationships. Just because sometimes this other person is very overpowering or someone is too ignorant towards you, this doesn't mean that you will withdraw. You will leave your work, you will leave your dream in between. So you have to work towards balancing your life. The Libra and the Pisces connection here, which is happening in a 6-8 pattern in the 1st and the 6th house, there is an eagerness to be in partnership, as it may make you feel much fulfilled, happy and balanced. But also, even a slightest fluctuation or change may bother you. You have a tendency to withdraw with the slightest change you see in your relationships. You will move in a different direction, just how the fishes migrate from one place to another. The sign of Virgo ruling the 12th house of Navamsha indicates the need to train your mind and have a practical approach towards all aspects of life. You must trust yourself. And when you do that, every fluctuation will be under your control. Like, I have the power to change, I have the power to accommodate with every fluctuation I see in life. Family, friends, your partner, anyone around you who have a placement in Virgo, very strong Virgo traits, this person will help you to find a more practical approach in life. This person can help you to train your mind. Either you will be challenged by this person, or you will be inspired, and then you will learn how to stay dedicated to your path despite of fluctuations. Also, with respect to your relationships, partnership, you have to work on planning and visualizing what you seek through your partnership. It's very important, as Pisces rules your 6th house. What do you seek in that person, in that relationship? How you think this partnership will help you to grow? All of this is a very important factor before you jump into a relationship, you finalize something. Because once you get into a partnership, you may easily lose your focus. You may easily feel detached. And definitely with Libra rising, there's a great need of love and affection so that you feel balanced. But the 6th and the 12th house axis shows a fine line needs to be drawn between the fantasy and reality. Some of your dreams may hurt you. Your own expectations may cause a lot of blockages in your relationships. You are not a part of a competition. You will never be. You are beyond that. And you are someone who has something special to give to this world. You can change things if you want. You can get rid of your obstacles if you want. It's not very difficult. If Scorpio is rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then Aries rules your 6th house. So here the Mars ruled houses are in a 6-8 pattern. As the 6th house is ruled by Aries, it is 6 places away from the Scorpio ruled house, and the Scorpio ruled house is 8 places away from your Aries ruled house. Here, Mars is a very important planet. It needs to be well understood. You have to see its placement in the Rashi and Navamsha. It will hugely impact your personal growth, work, and relationships. So Mars being the lord of the 1st and 6th house, it shows it's you who can be your biggest obstacle and also your greatest strength. Well, Aries ruling the 6th house of Navamsha shows that the inner child is at unease. There is some kind of discomfort deep within. By the inner child, I mean your true self, that very lighter version of you, the light-heartedness of yours, that playful version of you. And it also represents certain difficult childhood experiences which have suppressed your courage. And now you are concealing that playfulness in order to be at pace with this world. You're hiding that child so that you can fight with this world all the time. So there's always some kind of a conflict happening. All of this is your major block in this journey. With Scorpio rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, you have to cultivate a lot of strength in life. In fact, you will cultivate that strength. Further, you may use your intuition to make many decisions. But all of this indicates like there is a very premature emotional reaction to things. And it's all happening because, again, that playfulness, that innocent side of yours, that goodness of yours is being suppressed. And when it is suppressed, you are always on a very defensive mode. Scorpio rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, Aries ruling the 6th house. You do not easily approve people who are coming into your life. Also, there is something about your personality, your aura, your vibe, especially how you look at other people. Well, it brings a certain degree of fear in their heart. Like your eyes are saying it all. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me at all. One of the biggest block in your self-growth and relationships is the inability to compromise. No, I'm not saying to settle for something bad in your life, something which is less. I'm saying you just can't deal with people who put half-hearted efforts in the partnership or half-hearted efforts towards you. Remember what I said, that the inner child issue, as you mature, that child gets into very defensive mode, who just cannot stand even a single threat. That's why you may always, correct other people's actions. You will always let them know where they are wrong, and others may find it as a quite defensive act. There will be a lot of life situations where courage is required, and those moments will help you to grow. It will help you to understand your strength. So, the moment you deal with a challenge, if you are more focusing on your strength, you will be successful. But at the time of challenge, if you get weak, it can lead to self-destruction. Getting weak, it's okay, but you have to move beyond that stage of weakness. If you continue to stay in that weakness, it can be very self-destructive. Biggest lesson in this life is to be patient sometimes, wait for the right time to take action, or simply time will prove your worth to others. You need to have a great emotional balance. Early emotional response to people or situations may bring problems. With Aries ruling the 6th house and Libra ruling the 12th house of D9, mentally you have to work a lot to see the pros and the cons of everything before you make any quick decision, especially with respect to your relationships. Also, establishing clarity is important. What you seek in your partner, what partner seeks from you, this is something very important, and it will strengthen the bond. Rather than being rash all the time, you have to deal with things very diplomatically. People who have important placements in Libra, these people will help you to change. They will prove to be very life changing for you. They will teach you how to grow, how to work towards developing your bonds with other people, how to take decision with time rather than making impulsive decisions. So such kind of people, maybe through inspiring you or by challenging you, they will help you to balance yourself in a great way. If you have Sagittarius rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then Taurus rules the 6th house of same chart, which means the biggest block which you may face in your personal growth and relationships is to find stability, to be able to stick to certain goals, ideas, connections on a long-term basis. Especially when it comes to finances, family connections, partnership, or important bonds, you may feel everything just comes and goes for you. Well, this happens for everyone, but for you, it's happening in an intense way because of the 6-8 pattern of Sagittarius in Taurus is aligned in your 1st and 6th house. You have to work a lot on your spiritual path as well. Sagittarius ascendant constantly makes you outgrow other people. You move at a very high pace. You may also see that your spiritual quotient may constantly change your attitude towards the people and life situations. So the more you grow up, the more you mature, your spiritual side will get stronger, and this is hugely impacting your choices, your attitude towards people and different life situations. So you definitely change every single day, but your ability to make change as per the people's requirement, their needs, is difficult. What they seek from you is not something you may happily do. At one point, you may feel that family or the loved ones, their expectation, are trying to challenge your own growth. They may block your path, they may block you from reaching to that place where you truly want to, because Taurus rules the 6th house away from Sagittarius. So your growth, your future path is being blocked by the family ties, the family roots. And as Sagittarius house is 8 places away from the Taurus ruled house, it is the challenges from the family. Whatever you face, whatever you deal with, it helps you to further understand yourself, your spiritual path. It helps you to go beyond a certain limitation. You want to explore this world, you want to do so many things. So it gives you a rebirth, it helps you to further grow. So the family bonds, they're acting like a catalyst to help you to reach to your right potential. Further, with this Sagittarius Taurus alignment in the first 6th house, you may see many career changes in life, and along with that there are financial fluctuations as well. Opposite to the 6th house, the 12th house is ruled by the sign of Scorpio. So this indicates there will be constant struggle with stability in relationships because you are afraid to show your true self, or you don't want that your life, your mind, your happiness should be in control of someone else. Your true emotions are way too intense, you might hide them. So you may love others but from a distance. You try to maintain a distance because of this. Others may feel you're not always there for them, and sometimes you too may go through the same experience where other people are distancing themselves from you. So you learned to hide your expectations and emotions from others. People who have a strong placement in Scorpio, they may inspire you, they may challenge you, but they are bringing a big change in your life. They will help you to let out those intense feelings and emotions. Also, the 12th house of Navamsha, ruled by Scorpio, shows you have a lot of deep feelings, views, and ideas. You do observe the world very intensely, but rather than being opening to the world, you stay silent. You have to open up and say what you like and what you don't. You don't have to sit back and wait for the right things to happen, for that justice to happen in your life. At least you can openly communicate about your choices and what you like and what you don't. And when you express yourself, it will further help you to be a more strong individual. You will never be influenced easily by others, and this may give manipulative people a shock. But also, you have to work very hard in getting things stable in life. Life will always bring a lot of opportunities to grow and put your best out there in the world, but it would take a lot of time to heal from any wound which may have impacted your emotions in a great way, any wound which is given by the near or the dear ones. And you are brutally honest individual, and this may sometimes bring difficulty in relationships, but you will also be deeply appreciated by the world. How you talk, how you present the truth, this is something which will bring a lot of value. If you have Capricorn rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then Gemini rules the 6th house of the same chart. The biggest block which you may face in your personal growth and relationships is the inability to trust yourself and your own worth, because you may see such people who are growing, moving, and changing at a very fast pace. And this will make you question your own journey. And why is it happening? Because you are someone who wants to be more organized. Like, I have to be more focused towards what I'm doing, I have to make things right. There is a tendency that you may delay things in your life so that it can be done more efficiently. But then people around you are running, moving at a much faster pace, and this can impact you. Same goes for relationships. Well, you can develop a good bond with others, you can establish good friendship, but you may take time to understand people and their behavior. You will take time to understand that pattern of events happening between you and the significant person. But the thing is, with Gemini ruling the 6th house of Navamsha, you may land up with such people who are a bit unpredictable in nature. So, by constantly dealing with moody and unpredictable people, you start losing trust in relationships easily, or constantly give pain to yourself because of the actions of other people. As you seek stability, the 6th house is ruled by Gemini, and this is leading to everything out of balance. It's throwing everything off the course, out of order. Also, sometimes you question your own work. You may rely too much on yourself, which is a good thing, but it may bring a sense of loneliness. It's important to connect with others, no, not to seek for advice or to rely on others, but to welcome new ideas, new perspective, a new way of looking at life. Just opposite to the 6th house, well, the 12th house is ruled by Sagittarius, which means people who have a strong placement in Sagittarius, through inspiring you, through challenges, they will help you to look at life in a new way. They will help you to bring more excitement in life, to take risk, to go beyond a certain restriction which you have created for yourself. There is a hesitation to experiment. You want to stick to certain patterns, certain schedules, to certain people or life. Also, there is a need to spiritually make yourself stronger. There is a need to connect with yourself. One has to work on such things which makes you feel alive, like how Alice chased the rabbit and she fell into that rabbit hole. So don't be afraid of that fall, because that fall will help you to discover something great. So look at the pattern over here, the 6-8 pattern happening between Capricorn and Gemini. So with Capricorn rising, you have this tendency to be a bit rigid about your life, about your relationships. You seek stability, but as you have Gemini ruling the 6th house, 6 places away from the Capricorn ruled house, your challenge is that everything is chaotic, everything is changing very quickly, everyone around you is very unpredictable. So when you meet those challenges, those unpredictable people, what happens? Well, Capricorn rules a house which is 8 places away from Gemini. You get more strong. You get more firm. For you, it is a challenge in life to not to repeat the same thing again and again. Because if you don't learn from these challenges, that same pattern of unhappiness, that same pattern which you don't want, it will repeat again and again. So once that Gemini ruling 6th house gives you a challenge, a chaos, learn from it. Learn to grow because of it. The Capricorn rising is bringing this need to be always in control, like you seek a solid ground to stand. And with Gemini ruling the 6th house, it's constantly bringing that wind which is taking away everything from you. It's just moving so fast, it's not letting you stand on that solid ground for a long period of time. So this is how the 6th house will challenge you. With respect to relationships, Gemini ruling the 6th house is impacting the ability to communicate in relationships, ability to share your ideas, to open up, because you may always feel that the other person is judging you. So conveying your messages is something which is a major block. Either you feel that the other person is too carefree, or this person is not responsible enough, and once you know that, you immediately withdraw from that relationship. And you may also worry a lot about what the other person is thinking about you, and your partner may feel that you just scrutinize everything so seriously. You're very serious with every aspect of life, so they may hesitate, he or she may hesitate to connect with you. If you have Aquarius rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then the sign of Cancer rules the 6th house of same chart. The biggest block which you may face in personal growth and relationships is your emotional reaction to different people and different situations in life. So Aquarius rules your first house of D9, then 6 places away from it. The 6th house ruled by Cancer shows not enough security or nourishment came through mother, or simply the challenges of mother. Her insecurities are also reflected by you. You carry that impact deep within your soul and your emotions. There is a need to be more practical and be in check with reality. Not everything can be done in a moody state. So instead of looking at the issue from a far distant place, dealing with that issue firmly is important. There is something which is also confirmed by Capricorn ruling your 12th house. It's okay to disagree what the world says, what the society says, but it's important to know about the real world and seek a strong ground in life. You yourself have to establish strong principles for self. You have to be more disciplined and dedicated to your path. Now, Cancer rules the 6th house. 8 places away from this house is the first house ruled by Aquarius. So what does that show? It shows the emotional struggles which you may deal with, the emotional issues which you may deal with in the partnership will help you to regenerate. They will help you to be a more strong person. And that true regeneration, that change happens when we accept the unpredictable pattern of life. Very important thing. Emotionally, you may see a lot of unpredictability, where you cannot focus on one thing for a long time, or sometimes you're withdrawn, sometimes you're under a fear of something or someone, how this person will treat me, how things will happen in the future. So those emotional struggles are somehow preparing you to accept that uncertainty of life. Once you accept that, you will regenerate, you will grow beautifully. And further, all of this helps you to think out of the box. It further sharpens your beautiful vision, which will be so helpful for the world. The Aquarius Cancer signs ruling the 1st and 6th house axis indicates either we can sit at one place and be fearful, or we can work towards our issues, face them, embrace them. The unpredictable aspect of life, whether it's relationships or your work, is going to be very life changing. With respect to relationships, others may find you mysterious. It's difficult to connect to your emotions, what's going on in your mind. So you may appear to be very unusual or alien to others at the very first meeting. There's a need to look outward, transforming your vision into reality. Also, people might be afraid to approach you because you are someone who will be quite blunt and straightforward. When someone doesn't respect you, it just takes you away. Like, you will be like, okay, now let's move towards the period of detachment. I don't want to be with you anymore. The 12th house is ruled by Capricorn. If there is no respect, no regard towards you, you will detach from that relationship. And people who have important placements in Capricorn, whether it's a friend, a relative, relationship, I think these people will inspire or challenge you to bring a positive change in your life. They will help you a lot in having stability in life. They will help you to take strong and firm decisions, and you'll also learn to respect yourself first. And there is one more challenge with this placement. You don't let go things very easily. You just stay stuck emotionally, whether it's a person, whether it's a kind of a goal you have. You don't let go things very easily, and there's a deep fear of even rejection. Money, resources, they may also become a block in your partnership. So you have to sort out, like, you don't want to depend upon your partner for money, and you don't even want your partner to have too much of expectations when it comes to finances. Knowingly, unknowingly, you may hesitate to connect with others very easily, and you may test others as well, like how much they truly love you, how much they are emotionally connected to you. If Pisces is rising in the ascendant of Navamsha, then the sign of Leo rules the 6th house of the same chart. The biggest block which you may face in the personal growth and relationships is the inability to understand and connect with your own identity. Understanding self is everything here. Once you do that, everything is sorted. So Pisces rules the 1st house. Okay, this is you, a dreamer. You have a lot of dreams in your mind. Your imagination is strong, and you can never be, at one place. Like, at one time you are in different dimensions, thinking about different things altogether. And then from the Pisces ruled house, that is the 1st house, 6 places away, this house is ruled by Leo. Leo means the sun, sun means the soul. So when you are engaged into too many worlds, there is no focus on self. There's a lost sense of self over here. Inability to recognize your own worth, your identity, or maybe the identity is lost. That's why you are into so many things altogether. Your mind is stuck in so many things altogether. Now, the Leo ruled house, the 6th house, 8 places away from it, is the 1st house ruled by Pisces. So the identity issue, the struggle which you will constantly deal with in this life, will help you to find some kind of closure in this journey. You have to find certain answers. You have to reach to a certain destination which will make you happy, which will make you feel that your sole purpose is being achieved. So there are a lot of work you have, there's a lot of tasks you have which you have to complete in this life. You cannot keep them hanging. So what happens once the identity is being questioned, when there is a problem with the self-worth, that obstacle will help you to grow. It will help you to transform, undergo a rebirth process, so that you yourself will solve your issues. You yourself will find your answers, and you will be more spiritually inclined and stronger. So that's how your 1st and 6th house is working. Now, Leo over here becomes the block in your life. Okay, the Pisces rising indicates you are too lost in the world, and because of that there is no sense of self. No, it's not that you are not aware of what's going around you, you know it all, but you are deeply sensitive, you feel too much. Therefore the sense of self is lost. And why there is this lost sense of self? Because you get too busy in analyzing everything, understanding everything, or simply busy with your own visions and dreams, that you forget who you truly are. And you have to work a lot with respect to your spiritual quotient. I have mentioned this. That's why in partnerships or important connections, you may end up being dominated by others because that lost sense of self. Or it could be that your individuality, your personality is being suppressed by other people. And once you realize that this person is dominating me, you'll start moving away very quickly from that relationship. Also, you may compete successfully with the world. You may be a winner in the different competitions of life, but deep within you just want to be in your safe sanctuary. Emotionally, you want to be in a safe place and do something which you truly like. Sometimes the need of emotional security and affection may make you feel stuck at wrong places. You may get stuck with the wrong people. You may think at least this person supports me no matter how difficult things get sometimes. But this pattern of getting stuck with the wrong people will further take you away from your own quest to find your true self, your identity. Just opposite to 6th house, the 12th house is ruled by Aquarius. It's important that you put your vision out in this world. Like, you collect a lot of ideas and resources, but you're afraid to show those ideas because there is a sense of awkwardness. What if I'm not like the rest of the world? What do I have to give to other people? And even if I have something to give to the world, will it be accepted or not? So you have to learn to show your true self. Also, Aquarius ruling the 12th house shows a lot of expenditure with respect to your finances, or you have to really use a lot of energy to take care of your mind, of your ideas. You have to manage your ideas yourself very well, managing your resources very well. Someone who have a strong placement in Aquarius, it could be family person, friend or partner, this person will help you to fulfill your visions. Either this person will inspire you or this person will challenge you to do that. So you will find a lot of strength by connecting with the world rather than going away from the world. Once you become a part of this world, you will find more strength. Also, you may place other people's needs over your own needs. There's a great sympathy for others, but this can really drown you very badly. It can drown you emotionally and financially. The 1st and 6th house, Pisces, Leo ruled houses, show the only way through which you can get out of your blocks is confrontation. The more you sit and wait or ignore your issues, the more hard it will be to deal with the things later. So the more you work on your strength, the more you will get closer to your destination.